Do you know the youngest girl in the world to give birth? Her name is Lina Medina. How young was she when she gave birth? And how was her later life? The pregnant girl who was too young. In fact, it is estimated that about 10,000 women in Japan become pregnant and give birth in their teens. Globally, several records of births at ages as young as 10 or younger have also been identified. In 1910, a family was formed in China with a father of 9 years and a mother of 8 years. Later in 1930, in what was then the Soviet Union, now Russia, a 6-year-old girl gave birth. In Japan, a collection of bizarre stories from the Edo period called Toen Shosetsu records that an 8-year-old girl named Toya gave birth to a boy in Fujishiro, Toride City, Ibaraki Prefecture. But the record for the youngest girl to give birth in the world, overturning these records, was at an incredibly young age. She was 5 years old. The name of the youngest girl in the world to give birth is Lina Medina. Why did she become pregnant and give birth at the age of 5? She was born in 1933 in Peru and is still alive today. She was an ordinary girl who liked to play with dolls. But one day, her life took a sudden turn. When she was 5 years old, her parents noticed that her belly was protruding in an unusual way and rushed her to the hospital. At first, they were worried that she might have developed a large tumor, but the doctor's diagnosis was a shocking one. The cause of her protruding belly was not a tumor, but pregnancy. She was already about 7 months pregnant at the time. Here is a photo from that time. The little girl's abdomen can be seen to be puffing up many times the size of her body. The doctor who diagnosed her, Dr. Gerardo Lozada, took her to a hospital in Lima, Peru's capital, where she underwent another examination and confirmed that the pregnancy was not a mistake. They nursed her around the clock from then on, and a month and a half later, on May 14, 1939, she gave birth to a baby boy. At that time, the pelvis was too small to allow a normal delivery, so she had a cesarean section. The surgery was performed under anesthesia by 3 doctors, Dr. Lozada, Dr. Buseo, and Dr. Clarita. Thus was born the youngest mother in the world in medical history at 5 years, 7 months, and 21 days. The baby boy was a very standard baby, weighing 2,700 grams, and was named Gerardo after Dr. Gerardo Lozada. The condition of the mother and child after delivery was healthy, and she was discharged from the hospital within a few days. The mystery of birth. Lina Medina gave birth at the astonishingly young age of 5. How on earth was she able to be pregnant at such a young age? Essentially, most women under the age of 10 do not experience menstruation, are rarely in a condition to fully conceive or give birth. She was only 5 years old at the time, but she was able to conceive because of her physical characteristics, which were different from those of a normal girl. What was the reason for this? Lina Medina's delivery was reported in the medical journal by Dr. Edmundo Escom, a member of the French Medical Society. The report documented that she had her first menstruation at 8 months of age, that her breasts began to grow at age 4, and that her pelvis opened after pregnancy, indicating skeletal growth. In other words, she had grown a baby that was unthinkable for her age. Here is an actual picture of her with her son, Gerardo, after the birth. Compared to a typical 5-year-old, she seems to have a firm waist and a feminine body. This is thought to be a symptom called precocious puberty. Precocious puberty is a condition in which the secondary sexual characteristics of the body appear earlier than normal. When this condition occurs, women begin to grow breasts by age 7 years 6 months, body hair by age 8 years, and menstruation by age 10 years 6 months. In males, testes develop by age 9, body hair begins to grow by age 11, and the voice changes by age 12. The secondary sexual characteristics appear about 2 to 3 years earlier. This case has been confirmed in Japan as well. It affects not only women but also men. In Japan, a man named Eiji Ito had a voice change in the 2nd grade of elementary school, and by the time he was in the 4th grade, he was as big as an adult, standing 163 centimeters tall and weighing 68 kilograms. But even for precocious puberty, I would say that Lina Medina's case is quite special. Therefore, pregnancy and childbirth were possible even at the all too young age of 5. And there is another great mystery about this birth. The question is, who was the person who conceived Lina Medina, and who is the father of the baby? When a 5-year-old girl becomes pregnant, it is difficult to believe that the pregnancy was romantic and consensual. In other words, they had to consider the possibility of sexual crimes. With this in mind, Dr. Lozada reported Lina's father to the police and had him arrested on suspicion of child sexual abuse. However, he was released due to lack of evidence. When they asked her about the father of her child, it was never revealed, partly because she did not understand the pregnancy very well. In addition, the technology of DNA identification was published in the 1980s and could not be scientifically verified at that time. Lina Medina is still alive today, but she has declined any interviews. Therefore, the truth about the child's father remains a mystery to this day. Life after birth. What was Lina's life like after giving birth to Gerardo? Surprisingly, the Medina family continued to lead a very normal life in their hometown. However, Gerardo was not told that his mother was Lina, but was led to believe that she was his sister. He was finally informed that his mother was Lina when he was 10 years old. Dr. Lozada helped with childcare and hired Lina as a secretary after she grew up and helped Gerardo graduate from high school. Later, In 1972, when she was 38, she married a man named Raul Jurado. Then, after 33 years since Gerardo's birth, she gave birth to her second child. With the help of those around her, she was able to lead a happy life, but tragedy struck. In 1979, her eldest son, Gerardo, died at the young age of 40. The cause was a bone marrow disease. No details have been released, and the causal link between this untimely death of his and her giving birth at a young age remains unclear. Now she's 85. She's still living in the impoverished neighborhood of Lima, known as Little Chicago.